Hello, everyone. My name is Brenda Ray, and I'm a peer advisor for the Swanson School of Engineering's Global Experiences and Engagement Office. I'm here with Dr. Crestes, and he will be leading the Exploration of Energy and Electrification program here at Pitt. Do you want to give us a little bit of background about you?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, so my name is Bob Crestes. I'm a faculty in electrical and computer engineering. I'm also the program director for the electrical engineering undergraduate program. My background specifically is in electric power systems, in particular electric power distribution systems. And kind of the work that I focus on is model development, modeling of distribution systems, especially as we onboard renewables and some of the control systems and technology that has to go into having an efficient grid which works with clean renewable energy.
Awesome. So given your background, what kind of got you interested in going abroad with students?
Yeah, so I originally started with the program we had, which took students to Denmark and also Sweden. However, that program kind of fell through due to the pandemic and never even actually got to travel there. I did one kind of non-travel version of that course where we worked with the students in Denmark and the students at Pitt, which is very successful, but it was during 2020 when we couldn't travel. So I kind of regrouped with the office and thought about some new plans. And because I have a lot of colleagues who are from Brazil, and it was a good place to go to kind of expand our international programs, I started to think about Brazil as an option. And the reason why Brazil has really gotten me excited is the more I looked into the way energy works in Brazil, it's quite unique. They're almost fully renewable. Almost all of their energy is created with renewable green solutions. So that kind of really got me interested is, if a country that size with over 200 million people could support their power with all renewable, that's certainly a place that I would be excited to go and take students to so that we can investigate what they do and how they do it.
Awesome. I'm sure they'll learn a lot about that on the program. So why is this program good for any Swanson School of Engineering student for each major specifically?
Right. Yeah, that's a great question. So when you think about electricity and energy, you might be inclined to think that's something specifically geared towards electrical engineering students. And electrical engineering students, electrical engineers have a big part in electricity and delivering power to people. However, it takes a full interdisciplinary approach to make that happen. For example, when you have all these different resources like solar power, wind power, hydropower, which is a good portion of what they have in Brazil, you need a way to allocate those resources properly. It's an optimization problem, right? So that's a perfect problem fit for a student in the industrial engineering field, because optimization and how you use resources is a big focus of their studies. In addition to that, let's take hydropower, for example, which makes up the majority of the Brazilian energy. There's a lot that goes into that. There's mechanical machines which rotate, which takes some of the design practice from mechanical engineers. There's also specific materials which go into them, right? The best use of steel, the best highest quality steel is a good application for material science student. Also, putting that whole practice together is an interdisciplinary approach, which is something that would be akin to an engineering science student. In addition, when you look at things like solar power and wind energy, those are intermittent energy sources. So the way that you can kind of glue that all together to make it work in an efficient grid is through battery storage. So battery storage is often an electrochemical process, as you would know, right? And that's something that a chemical engineer would really work with, right? Or even the process control of, a steam plant, a plant that uses steam could use the process control background of a chemical engineer. So really, this is while it seems like electricity is basically for electrical engineers, it takes everyone to make it happen. I mean, I would even say beyond just engineers, it runs into policy, it runs into law, it runs into pretty much everything. It's a world problem for us all to solve. So it kind of fits everyone to study energy.
Wow, you answered my next question already about how that would kind of apply to other majors. And I think that you did a great job in answering that. Is there anything more that you'd like to say about the program as we're kind of getting close to that deadline and everything?
Yeah, I think, Brazil is a great place to go to look at energy because it's so very different from what we do in the United States. It's so very different that what's done in most of Asia and Europe, right? The South America and specifically Brazil is very, very different. So when you go there, you're going to get a real chance to see something much different than the way we do things. And why that's important as an engineer is because when we take different ways of doing things, different ways of thought, that creates our own innovative mind to work, right? So that's just from the technical standpoint. But besides that, Brazil is a beautiful country. South America is much different than the United States, as you would imagine. You get to see the jungle, you get to see very different climates that you would not see here. In addition, some of the tourism, some of the culture there, the Brazilian food, we're going to go see capoeira, which is a mix of martial arts and dance, which is a very beautiful thing to witness. We're going to go to Foz do Iguaçu, which is the largest dam in South America, one of the largest hydro generation plants in the entire world, which is quite a marvel to look at. It's one of the great engineering marvels of the world. And really just to kind of see something different and really experience some culture. Brazil is a very, very beautiful place, as anyone can see if you just do a couple Google searches. So besides the great engineering aspect of it, and the real technical things that we're going to pick up, we're really going to get to see some great culture and have some fun while we're there.
Awesome. Sounds like a great program.